Académie Brasileira de Letras English, Brazilian Academy of Letters, is a Brazilian literary non-profit society established at the end of the 19th century by a group of 40 writers and poets inspired by the Académie Française. The first president, Machado de Assis, declared its foundation on December 15, 1896, with the bylaws being passed on January 28, 1897. On July 20 of the same year, the Academy entered into operation. The Brazilian Academy of Letters is, according to its statutes, charged with the care of the national language of Brazil and with the promotion of Brazilian literary arts. The Academy is considered the foremost institution devoted to the Portuguese language in Brazil, although it is not a state institution and no law grants to it oversight over the language. By its prestige and technical qualification, it is the paramount authority on Brazilian Portuguese. The Academy's main publication in this field is the orthographic vocabulary of the Portuguese language, of which there were 5 editions. The vocabulary is prepared by the Academy's Commission on Lexicology and Lexicography. If a word is not included in the vocabulary, it is considered not to exist as a correct word in Brazilian Portuguese. The orthographic vocabulary, however, is not a dictionary, as it contains words and the grammatical categories, but not the definition or meaning of the words listed. Thus, unlike the French Academy, the Royal Spanish Academy and other foreign institutions dedicated with the care of a national language, the Brazilian Academy of Letters, until recently, published no official dictionary. Although it still stopped short of publishing a full official dictionary, the Academy issued its first dictionary in 2009, the School Dictionary of the Portuguese Language, with students as its target custom is. The Academy does plan to publish a full and official dictionary of the Brazilian Academy of Letters in the future. For the time being, however, other dictionaries such as the Orelha and the House remain more prestigious than the School Dictionary, in spite of the fact that the latter is sometimes marketed by booksellers as the ABL's dictionary, due to its being authored by the Academy. Both the House and the Orelha dictionaries, however, were first compiled by members of the Academy in the private capacities and as personal professional enterprises. The preparation of an official dictionary of the Portuguese language is a stated goal of the Brazilian Academy of Letters. The Academy is composed to this day of 40 members, known as immortals, chosen from among the citizens of Brazil, who have published recognized works or books of literary value. The position of immortal is awarded for the recipient's lifetime. New members are admitted by a vote of the Academy members when one of the chairs become vacant. The chairs are numbered and each has a patron. The patrons are 40 great Brazilian writers that were already dead when the Academy was founded. The names of the patrons were chosen by the founders, and they were honored post-mortem by each being assigned patronage over a chair. Thus, each of the 40 chairs is associated with its current holder, with the predecessors of the current holder who occupied it before him, and, in particular, with the founder who occupied it first, but also with the seat's patron. The academicians use formal gala gilded uniforms with a sword when participating in official meetings of the Academy. During periods of dictatorship and military regime, the Academy's neutrality in choosing proper members dedicated to the literary profession was compromised when it elected politicians with few or no contributions to literature, such as ex-President Getulio Vargas. The Academy, which was a purely male affair until the groundbreaking election of novelist Rachel de Queiroz in 1977 for Chair No. 5, now has 4 women members, one of which, Nelly de Pinot, served as president in 1996–97. The Academy, thanks to revenues in excess of $4 million million a year, is financially stable. It owns a skyscraper with 28 floors in the center of Rio, which the Academy rents for office space, generating 70% of its current revenue. The rest comes from rental of other buildings, which were legated by book editor Francisco Alves in 1917, and from financial investments. This comfortable situation allows for paying a jeton to each academician. The ABL is located just by its side, in a neoclassical building, which is named Petit Trianon. It was donated by the government of France in 1923 and is so named because it is a copy of the Petit Trianon Palace in Versailles, near Paris, France. It has recently inaugurated one of the largest public libraries in Rio, with 90,000 volumes and a multimedia center. The Academy annually awards several literary prizes: the Premio Machado de Assis and the ABL prizes for poetry, for fiction and drama, for essays, critique and history of the literature, and for children's literature. Sometimes an extraordinary commemorative prize is also awarded, such as the José Lins de Rego Prize in 2001, and the Afonso Arinos Prize in 2005. The Academy also publishes a literary periodical, the Brazilian Review, with quarterly editions. Original patrons: Adelino Fontoura, Álvarez de Azevedo, Artur de Oliveira, Basilio da Gama, Bernardo Guimarães, Casimiro de Abreu, Castro Alves, Claudio Manuel da Costa, Goncalves de Magalhães, Evaristo da Veiga, Fagans Varela, Franca Jr., Francisco Otaviano, Franklin Tavora, Goncalves Diaz, Gregorio de Matos, Hipólito da Costa, João Francisco Lisboa, Joaquim Catano da Silva, Joaquim Manuel de Macedo, Joaquim Serra, José Bonifacio the Younger, José de Alencar, Julio Ribeiro, Junqueira Freire, Lorinda Rabelo, Antonio Peregrino Maciel Monteiro, Manuel Antonio de Almeida, Martins Peña, Pardal Mallet, Pedro Luis Pereira de Souza, Manuel de Arroyo Porto Alegre, Raul Pompeia, Sousa Caldas, Tavares Bastos, Teófilo Diaz, Tomás Antonio Gonzaga, Tobias Barreto, Francisco Adolfo de Varnhagen, José Maria da Silva Paranhus, Sr. Correspondence: Alexandra de Gashmau, Antonio José da Silva, Manuel Botelho de Oliveira, Eusebio de Matos, Francisco de Souza, Meixas, Nuno Marcos Pereira, Sebastião da Rocha Pita, Santa Rita Jureo, Vicente de Salvador, Alexandra Rodrigues Ferreira, Antonio de Moraes Silva, Domingos Borges de Barros, Francisco de Monte Alvin, Joaquim Goncalves Ledo, José Bonifacio de Andrade e Silva, Odrico Mendes, Manuel Inácio da Silva Alvarenga, Sotero dos Reis, José da Silva Lisboa. Presidents: Joaquim Maria Machado de Assis 1897–1908, Rui Barbosa 1908–1919, Domicio da Gama 1919, Carlos de Lat 1919–1922, Afranio Pisotto 1922–1923, Medeiros Albuquerque 1923, Afranio Pisotto 1923–1924, Afonso Celso 1925, Coelho Neto 1926, Rodrigo Otavio 1927, Augusto de Lima 1928, Fernando Magalhães 1929, Aloisio de Castro 1930, Fernando Magalhães 1931–1932, Gustavo Barroso 1932–1933, Ramis Galvo 1933–1934, Afonso Celso 1935, Lord Lino Fryer 1936, Artulfo de Paiva 1937, Claudio de Souza 1938, Antonio Ostregesilo 1939, Celso Vieira 1940, Levi Carnero 1941, Machado Soares 1942–1943, Mucio Leo 1944, Pedro Carmen 1945, Claudio de Souza 1946, João Neves da Fontoura 1947, Adalmar Tavares 1948, Miguel Osorio de Almeida 1949, Gustavo Barroso 1950–1950, Aloisio de Castro 1951, Aníbal Freire da Fonseca 1952, Barbosa Lima Sobrinho 1953–1954, Rodrigo Otávio Filho 1955, Peregrino Jr. 1956–1957, Elmano Cardam 1958, Ostregesilo Athade 1959–1993, Abgar Reno 1993, Josue Montelo 1993–1995, Antonio Haues 1995–1996, Nelly de Pinon 1996–1997, Arnaldo Nisquia 1997–1999, Tarcisio Padilla 2000–2002, Alberto da Costa e Silva 2002–2004, Ivan Junqueira 2004–2005, Marcos Vinicius Rodrigues Villica 2006–2007, Cicero Sandroni 2008. Current members. The members of the Brazilian Academy of Letters: Afonso Arinos de Melo Franco, Alberto da Costa e Silva, Alberto Venancio Filho, Alfredo Bossi, Ana Maria Machado, Antonio Carlos Section, Antonio Torres, Arnaldo Nisquia, Candido Mendes de Almeida, Carlos A. Torconi, Carlos Nellar, Celso Leiva, Cicero Sandroni, Cleonis Berardinelli, Domicio Proenca Filho, Eduardo Portela, Evaldo Cabral de Melo, Evanildo Becerra, Evaristo de Moraes Filho, Fernando Henrique Cardoso, Faria Argula, Geraldo Holanda Cavalcanti, Helio Jaguaribe, Ivo Pitangui, José Murilo de Carvalho, José Sunny, Luiz Paulo Horta, Ligia Fagans Tells, Marco Lucchesi, Marco Maciel, Marcos Vinicius Rodrigues Villica, Merval Pereira, Murilo Melo Filho, Nelly de Pinon, Nelson Pereira dos Santos, Paulo Coelho, Rochesca da Cid Oliveira, Sabato Migaldi, Sergio Paulo Ruanet, Tarcisio Padilla, Gallery of the Immortals, Machado de Assis, Jorge Amado, José Guilherme Mercure, Tobias Barreto,